71. The Book of Enoch. The Book of the Revolutions of the Luminaries of Heaven, according to their respective classes, the respective powers, the respective periods, the respective names, the places where they commence their progress, and the respective months, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, explained to me, he who conducts them, the whole account of them according to every year of the world forever, until a new work will be effected, which will be eternal. This is the first law of the luminaries. The sun and the light arrive at the gates of heaven, which are on the east, and on the west of it, at the western gates of heaven. I beheld the gates whence the sun goes forth, and the gates where the sun sets, in which gates also the moon rises and sets. And I beheld the conductors of the stars among those who precede them. 6 gates were at the rising, 6 at the setting of the sun. All these respectively, one after another, are on a level, and numerous windows are on the right and on the left sides of those gates. First proceeds forth that great luminary, which is called the sun, the orb of which is as the orb of heaven, the whole of it being replete with splendid and flaming fire. Its chariot, where it ascends, the wind blows. The sun sets in heaven, and, returning by the north, to proceed towards the east, is conducted so as to enter by that gate, and illuminate the face of heaven. In the same manner it goes forth in the first month by a great gate. It goes forth through the fourth of those 6 gates, which are at the rising of the sun, and in the fourth gate through which the sun with the moon proceeds, in the first part of it, there are 12 open windows, from which issues out a flame when they are opened at their proper periods. When the sun rises in heaven, it goes forth through this fourth gate 30 days, and by the fourth gate in the west of heaven on a level with it, descends. During that period, the day is lengthened from the day, and the night curtailed from the night for 30 days, and then the day is longer by 2 parts than the night. The day is precisely 10 parts, the night is 8. The sun goes forth through this fourth gate and sets in it, and turns to the fifth gate during 30 days, after which it proceeds from and sets in the fifth gate. Then the day becomes lengthened by a second portion, so that it is 11 parts, while the night becomes shortened and is only 7 parts. The sun now returns to the east, entering into the 6th gate, and rising and setting in the 6th gate 31 days, on account of its signs. At that period the day is longer than the night, being twice as long as the night, and becomes 12 parts. But the night is shortened, and becomes 6 parts. Then the sun rises up, that the day may be shortened, and the night lengthened. And the sun returns towards the east, entering into the 6th gate, where it rises and sets for 30 days. When that period is completed, the day becomes shortened precisely 1 part, so that it is 11 parts, while the night is 7 parts. Then the sun goes from the west, from that 6th gate, and proceeds eastwards, rising in the 5th gate for 30 days, and setting again westwards in the 5th gate of the west. At that period the day becomes shortened 2 parts, and is 10 parts, while the night is 8 parts. Then the sun goes from the 5th gate, as it sets in the 5th gate of the west, and rises in the 4th gate for 31 days, on account of its sign, setting in the west. At that period the day is made equal with the night, and being equal with it, the night becomes 9 parts, and the day 9 parts. Then the sun goes from that gate, as it sets in the west, and returning to the east, proceeds by the 3rd gate for 30 days, setting in the west at the 3rd gate. At that period the night is lengthened from the day during 30 mornings, and the day is curtailed from the day during 30 days, the night being 10 parts precisely, and the day 8 parts. The sun now goes from the 3rd gate, as it sets in the 3rd gate in the west, but returning to the east, it proceeds by the 2nd gate of the east for 30 days. In like manner also it sets in the 2nd gate in the west of heaven. At that period the night is 11 parts, and the day 7 parts. Then the sun goes at that time from the second gate, as it sets in the second gate in the west, but returns to the east, proceeding by the first gate, for 31 days, and sets in the west in the first gate. At that period the night is lengthened as much again as the day. It is 12 parts precisely, while the day is 6 parts. The sun has thus completed its beginnings, and a second time goes round from these beginnings. Into that gate it enters for 30 days, and sets in the west, in the opposite part of heaven. At that period the night is contracted in its length a fourth part, that is, 1 portion, and becomes 11 parts. The day is 7 parts. Then the sun returns and enters into the second gate of the east. It returns by these beginnings 30 days, rising and setting. At that period the night is contracted in its length. It becomes 10 parts, and the day 8 parts. Then the sun goes from that second gate and sets in the west, but returns to the east, and rising in the east in the third gate 31 days, setting in the west of heaven. At that period the night becomes shortened. It is 9 parts, and the night is equal with the day. The year is precisely 364 days. The lengthening of the day and night and the contraction of the day and night are made to differ from each other by the progress of the sun. By means of this progress, the day is daily lengthened and the night greatly shortened. This is the law and progress of the sun, and its turning when it turns back, turning during 60 days and going forth. This is the great everlasting luminary, that which God Most High names the sun forever and ever. This also is that which goes forth a great luminary, and which is named after its peculiar kind, as God Most High had commanded. And thus it goes in and out, neither slackening nor resting, but running on in its chariot by day and by night. It shines with the 7th portion of light from the sun, but the dimensions of both are equal. After this law, I beheld another law of an inferior luminary, the name of which is the moon, and the orb of which is as the orb of heaven. Its chariot, which it secretly ascends, the wind blows, and light is given to it by measure. Every month at its exit and entrance it becomes changed, and its periods are as the periods of the sun. And when in like manner its light is to exist, its light is a 7th portion from the light of the sun. Thus it rises, and at its commencement towards the east goes forth for 30 days. At that time it appears and becomes to you the beginning of the month. 30 days it is with the sun in the gate from which the sun goes forth. Half of it is in extent 7 portions, 1/2, and the whole of its orb is void of light, except the 7th portion out of the 14 portions of its light. And in a day it receives a 7th portion, or half that portion of its light. Its light is by sevens, by 1 portion, and by the half of a portion. It sets with the sun, and when the sun rises, the moon rises with it, receiving half a portion of light. On that night when it commences its period, previously to the day of the month, the moon sets with the sun. And on that night it is dark in its 14 portions, that is, in each half. But it rises on that day with 1/7 portion precisely, and in its progress declines from the rising of the sun. During the remainder of its period its light increases to 14 portions. Then I saw another progress and regulation, which God Most High effected in the law of the moon. The progress of the moon, and everything relating to it, Uriel showed me, the holy angel who conducted it all. Its station I wrote down as he showed it to me. I wrote down its months, as it occurred, and the appearance of its light, until it is completed in 15 days. In each of its 2 7 portions, it completes all its light at rising and at setting. On stated months, it changes its settings, and on stated months, it makes its progress through each gate. In 2 gates, the moon sets with the sun, also in those 2 gates which are in the midst, in the 3rd and 4th gates. From the 3rd gate, it goes forth for 7 days and makes its circuit. Again it returns to the gate whence the sun goes forth, and in that completes the whole of its light. Then it declines from the sun, and enters in 8 days into the 6th gate, and returns in 7 days to the 3rd gate, from which the sun goes forth. When the sun proceeds to the 4th gate, the moon goes forth for 7 days, until it passes from the 5th gate. Again it returns in 7 days to the 4th gate, and completing all its light, declines, and passes on by the 1st gate in 8 days, and returns in 7 days to the 4th gate, from which the sun goes forth. Thus I beheld their stations, as according to the fixed order of the months, the sun rises and sets. At those times there is an excess of 30 days belonging to the sun in 3 years. All the days belonging to each year of the 3 years, when completed, amount to 364 days. And to the sun and stars belong 10 days, 10 days in each of the 3 years. Thus 30 days belong to them, so that the moon has 30 days less than the sun and stars. The moon brings on all the years exactly, that its station may come neither too forwards nor too backwards a single day, but that the years may be changed with correct precision in 364 days. In 3 years the days are 1,092. In 5 years they are 1,820. And in 8 years 2,912 days. To the moon alone belong in 3 years 1,062 days. In 5 years it has 50 days less than the sun, for an addition being made to the 1,062 days. In 5 years there are 1,770 days, and the days of the moon in 8 years are 2,832 days. For its days in 8 years are less than those of the sun by 80 days, which 80 days are its diminution in 8 years. The year then becomes truly complete according to the station of the moon and the station of the sun, which rise in the different gates, which rise and set in them for 30 days.